all these drugs, messing with our chemicals. We got Johnny Depp, notorious drug user, going through his thing, right? Johnny Depp, very open about his drug use, right? Isn't he? Isn't Johnny Depp? He's been very open about his drug use. A big Hunter S. Thompson fan, went and visited Hunter S. Thompson, shot the Rum Diaries. I believe this is where he met his just disaster of an ex-wife, Amber Heard. And I typically don't follow these things, these celebrity moments, but this case caught my attention because I do like Johnny Depp. I do like him as a person. I've watched his interviews. He's like awkward in his interviews. He's like not trying to put on a shtick or anything, as far as I can tell. Very charismatic person, but definitely awkward. Definitely, you could tell he doesn't like being in the spotlight. Doesn't even watch his own movies after he shoots the movies. I thought this was interesting. He doesn't even watch the movie. I thought that was cool. He shoots the movie, does all of his scenes, and then doesn't even watch the movies. He's just kind of like, well, that movie's done. On to the next one. And he's going through this disaster, and I've been kind of keeping a close eye on it. I think I watched one clip, which kind of hooked me in. One clip of him talking to Amber's lawyers in the court. And, Amber is, at least to me, this very obvious narcissist. She's been collecting data on old Johnny Depp, right? Old Johnny Depp, in some deep shit with this ex, with this crazy ex, and I think they got divorced. I wasn't sure what the case was at first. I'm like, is this a divorce case? What is this? And I read up and I realized this is a defamation case. This is Johnny Depp suing her for defamation. A bunch of these, major producers like Disney and all these different, whatever you call them, the companies who make movies, they dropped him, right? Because she came out with all this information. Oh, Johnny beat me. Johnny Depp, he beat me. And so old Johnny is suing Amber for defamation. He lost his career, right? Lost his career. And I'm looking at the case. I'm like, yeah, okay. She's a total narcissist. She's been mounting all this evidence against Johnny that, for years she's been recording him, and he gets drunk and she records him, and she has years of supposed evidence that he's been beating her, he's been taking drugs. It's like, oh well, where's that evidence? I didn't see any evidence that he was actually beating on her. She's got some videos of him getting drunk and slamming the cabinets, and it seems like he gets drunk, and instead of focusing his violence on her, he focuses his violence on the cabinets. And I could tell from that clip that he's not a wife beater. He's slamming cabinets, and I've been in that position before where you're so frustrated but you never hit her, so you just start slamming shit around. I had an ex-girlfriend, exactly, not exactly like her, but pretty damn close, who drove me to the point of insanity, who would barricade herself in front of the door when I would try to leave. And in one clip, he was describing how he would try to leave, and she would barricade herself against the door so he couldn't leave. And I'm like, ding, ding, ding. I can relate to this. I can relate to this. And I think a lot of men can relate to this. Being with these abusive women, these mentally abusive women, these women who slap you, these women who you try to leave and they don't let you leave. One time I had to hop out of the window. I think I've told this story before. She barricaded herself against the door. And instead of just, I could have easily just grabbed her and just, shoved her aside, bolted out the door. But I thought jumping out the window would have proved a point. It's like, this is how bad I want to get away from you. So I jump out the window, hop the fence. It was like this 10-foot fence in our backyard at the time. This was years ago. Hop the fence, dislocate my shoulder hopping the fence. I had just gotten into altercation with a bouncer because of her. At this bar, these bouncers threw me out of the bar, dislocated my shoulder. So I was like 3 weeks into my shoulder recovery. And so I'm hopping out the window because she's driving me nuts. And I'm popping over the fence, dislocate my shoulder. I get in my car and I just bolt. And she's running after the car, man. She's running after the car, just totally unhinged. And I get these same vibes from her. I get these same exact vibes from Amber Heard. And so I'm sympathizing with Johnny, right? And I think a lot of men are. But at the same time, it's like, man, who you chose her, bro. You chose her. You know, you're getting a little too stacked, a little too coked up, a little too boozed up. Boozed up and coked up, you're not going to be making any good decisions, right? I don't know how many wives he's had. And on one level, you could look at the case and say, oh, well, she's such a terrible person. But on the other hand, you know, you got to lay a little bit of the responsibility on old Johnny Depp. It's like part of this is your problem. Part of this is your choice in women, the decisions you make, the drugs you're taking, which is affecting your ability to perceive situations clearly, not having clearly defined values. And, you know, for some people, just not having that part of the brain that recognizes this type of behavior in women, these types of red flags that if you're on the lookout for them, become obvious very quick. You know, become just obvious very quick, like the love bombing. And then, you know, perhaps a subtle passive aggressiveness, perhaps their need to control and manipulate. You know, some people there's a part of their brain that can't see it. It's just, they don't register, they don't sense, they don't have that sense. I think with emotions and these types of red flags, some people have a sixth sense for it. You know, like we have our sense of touch, we have our sense of hearing. But there are things out there that I believe exist, but that we can't sense them. And I believe when it comes to emotions and reading people, some people they don't have that capability to see that in other people, to see that in a woman, or if you're a woman, to see that in a man. And it's like you get so wrapped up in the emotions, you fail to see the red flags, you fail to recognize the sheer destruction that is coming down your path should you choose to associate and mate with somebody that exhibits this behavior. And, you know, some call it love, sweet love. Some call it love, sweet love. Johnny Depp was in love with her, right? And you ask yourself, is it really love? You know, is it really love? What's the difference between love and, you know, a type of dysfunctional attachment? You know, is it really love, or is it just like this dysfunctional attachment? I look back on, you know, many of my ex-girlfriends, and, you know, was it love at some point, or was it more like a lust combined with some type of really dysfunctional attachment that could only possibly have one ending to it? You know, it's like, you know where this road is going. And if you can't learn from those mistakes, you can't learn to recognize the red flags that are just right in front of you, and you're choosing to go down this path. Well, Repo Man coming for you, baby. Repo Man is coming for you. And I talked about this in a previous video. What happens if you don't make the payments on your car? Repo Man comes for your car. What happens if you make the wrong decisions? Repo Man comes and takes away your peace, takes away your happiness, takes away a lot of your tranquility in your life. And so Repo Man is coming for Johnny Depp. This is everything he's going through, everything I'm going through, everything you're going through is largely the result of your choices, your decisions, your actions, the things that you do, how you're perceiving the world, how you're perceiving the situation. And, you know, yeah, you could look at this case and say, Well, yeah, she's totally unhinged. She's a total narcissist. And while that could be true, part of the blame has to rest on Johnny Depp. And you know what, Johnny, you got yourself in this situation, bro. And now you're in court. So even though you're right, even though, you know, you might win this case, did you really win? You know, you could win a court case and still lose. Still lose, you know, internally, mentally, spiritually. Yeah, you win the court case, but you still lost. You wasted all this time, put yourself through all this heartache, all this turmoil, because you didn't make the right decisions at the time. You didn't make the right choice. You blundered it. You fumbled the ball in the final quarter. You know, you're down a touchdown in the final quarter of the football game, and you're so close to the end zone, and you fumble the ball at like the 10-yard line. You know, you fumbled it. And who are you going to blame when you fumble the ball? You can't blame anyone but yourself when you drop the ball. So Johnny Depp dropped the ball. And, you know, hopefully he learns from this. He is like in his early 50s. She is in her mid 30s. I don't know how long they've been together, but I think he met her when she was in probably her early 30s, maybe late 20s. And, you know, yeah, it's like that age gap is going to cause problems. And, you know, it's just like there's a relatability problem there. And I know like a lot of guys want to date younger women and this and that, but man, there's so many problems that come along when you don't think things through. There's so many problems. You know, guys talking about, you know, they're in their 30s, they want to date a chick who's 21. It's like, what are you thinking? Yeah, she's hot, but she's going to be a disaster for you in the long run. You're not going to be able to relate to her on most levels. You know, she's in that zone of her life where she wants to party and have fun, and she's not serious. And yeah, you have a little money, and perhaps that's what's keeping things going. You're up in your brain saying, oh no, you know, she likes me for these other reasons, and then when it crumbles, you look back, and you know, can you really be confused? Can you really be confused? Like, you can be hurt, you can be this, you can be that, but you can't be confused when you look back and take like a bird's eye view of the situation. You can't say you didn't see it coming, right? When you make these blunders, just obvious blunders, you can't say you didn't see it coming. So Johnny, you couldn't see it coming, man. You couldn't see it coming. Coked up, pissed off, boozing it up, and you're not going to think clearly about anything. You know, you're just not going to think clearly. So Johnny's, I believe he's a good guy, talented guy. But that doesn't mean everything is going to work out in Johnny Depp's life, right? You can have all the money in the world and still blunder your relationships. You know, that's one thing you can't buy with money. You can't buy a functional relationship. It takes work, it takes effort, it takes two people coming together and saying, you know what, we're going to work through these problems. We love each other. Let's move forward. Let's solve problems. I'm going to work on myself, and you're going to work on yourself, and we're going to come together as a team and figure this out. So did Johnny Depp have that mental framework when he went into this relationship with Amber? I don't think so. You know, if you let things fall to the weeds, you don't see the early warning signs, and this is what happens. So Johnny Depp, yeah, you're in the right, but part of it is your fault, isn't it? Isn't it? Isn't part of it your fault? Isn't part of it our fault where we are in life? It's all our fault at the end of it. All of it. Take full responsibility for what happens to you. And keep the train rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Fallon, GoNootropics.com. As always, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And I will see you very soon. Peace.